Hey there and welcome to 2023. This is Bald Prairie Real Estate and my weekly Canadian real estate news recap here. My name is Matthew Pfeifer. I'm a real estate agent from Regina, Saskatchewan, and that's my trusted assistant, Matilda. Now this week, I got a couple of really interesting topics and one that I think is the future of Canadian real estate. But first, let's get you another terrible bad dad joke. What do you call a really happy cowboy? A jolly rancher. If you have a terrible joke that I can use in a future episode, put it in the comments below. Let's get into the news. One thing I want to start doing more often in these weekly news recaps is giving you an educational piece, maybe about a terminology or real estate concept. So when I say something like, there are 3 months of inventory right now in Toronto, you'll know what the heck I mean and how that is important to you as maybe a buyer or a seller. And if you have a piece of terminology or a concept that you don't understand, put it in the comments below and I'll add it to a future video. So months of inventory is basically telling you how busy a real estate market is. You calculate that by taking the current inventory, houses for sale, and divide it by the previous month's sales. When there is 3 months or less of inventory, that's typically considered a buyer's market, seller's market, and prices are appreciating. Between 3 and 6 months of inventory, that's considered a balanced market. Prices probably aren't doing too much, up or down. And then if you have more than 6 months of inventory, that's considered a buyer's market. That's typically when prices are declining. Now I say usually that's what happens because right now, for example, in Toronto, there is less than 3 months of inventory and prices are declining. But months of inventory kind of gives you a good idea what's going on and how busy your real estate market is. The first news topic I want to talk about here is how fast Canada's population is increasing. Now the full year's numbers aren't out yet, but the first 3 quarters of the year saw nearly 770,000 people call Canada home. In fact, a huge percentage of that, like 350,000 of that 770,000 came in just the third quarter alone. When we get all the December numbers in, we're likely to see 1 million new people calling Canada home in just 2022. If you're wondering why the rental market is going sky high right now and prices are going through the roof, well, there's one of your answers right there. Now, I'm going to be doing a future video that I'm kind of right now calling Canada's next real estate boom. And be talking about what's going to cause that. Spoiler, immigration is a huge factor there. And when I think we're going to see that, so get subscribed if you want to see that future video when it comes out. Next news topic here, let's talk about some of the predictions for interest rates. And I'm going to be talking about this in my 2023 forecast video, which should be coming about a week from when this video comes out. So mid-January again, keep your eyes out for that one. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting video. And of course, lots of fun will be had at the end of the year when we wrap that one back up. But these two predictions here are coming from ratehub.ca and rates.ca. And RateHub is expecting interest rates to remain exactly where they are through all of 2023. Rates.ca, they're expecting both January and March to see quarter-point bumps, so a half-point bump for where we are today, and then remaining flat for the rest of the year. Personally, I'm leaning more towards maybe 1 or 2 more rate hikes this year and then remaining flat for the most of the year. Potentially the back end of the year, we might be talking about drops, although I would be surprised to see more than a quarter or a half-point drop at the very, very end of the year, maybe one of those last 2 meetings. This next topic here is one that I think is the future of real estate in Canada, or specifically the future of home construction in Canada. So this article, they're talking about prefabricated houses, and I'm going to classify them in 2 categories here. The RTMs, which are ready to move, those are the houses that are built off-site entirely and then shipped to the site by a truck and put down on a foundation. And the second is these prefabricated, maybe they come in kits or prefabricated segments of a house. So the RTMs, I'm not sure if that's the future of new construction in Canada because of the logistics of moving them. Simply, you can only move a house that's so big, and getting them, especially inside a city, around street lights and around city corners and stuff like that, is very challenging. So that I don't see as a major player as in the future real estate Canada. I still think they're going to be used quite a bit, but I think the prefabricated or kit style houses where maybe we prefabricate parts of the house, say the walls, for example, those are built offsite and then shipped to the construction site and assembled very quickly. This should offer cost savings. And this is already actually done partially in Canada with, for example, the roof. All the trusses on a roof in a house are pre-assembled off-site. I used to actually do that. I worked in a night shift in a factory and put these trusses together when I was out in BC, and they would assemble these and then ship them to the construction site and they get plopped on top of the house. So that wouldn't surprise me that kit houses or prefabricated components of houses, that becomes the future of how houses are built in Canada and a way to reduce the cost. If you can manufacture segments of walls one after another like an assembly line, it's going to reduce the cost overall of construction versus building it one-off on site. I don't know what you guys think. Would you buy a house that is ready to move or prefabricated parts that you assemble and then put together yourself on site, or have somebody do it for you? Let me know in the comments. I started this video talking about my 2023 forecast video. Well, right here is my recap for 2022, looking back at my forecast for 2022 and see which one of those predictions I got right, and more than a few that I definitely got wrong. So check that video out. As always, guys, please give this video a like, subscribe if you love learning about real estate, throw comments below. I love chatting with you guys in the comment section, and thanks for watching.